Okay, so I just recorded the video and realized that it's so long. So I'm gonna do it again and try and keep it as short as I can, but this is like a really long story. So I don't know if I could do it, but anyway, sorry that the background is so plain. It's just that I moved into my new apartment with my boyfriend, and we don't have money to like spend on posters or frames or whatever. So okay, so I met him when I was 14, a freshman. He was 15, a sophomore. And for the first couple weeks, like the first 2 weeks that he was talking to me, I didn't want to talk to him because I'm a really quiet girl. Like, I'm shy and I don't really talk to guys. But we ended up becoming really, really good friends. And I got a huge crush on him, which I don't know why, because I don't go for guys like him. He literally had like 15 girls that he was talking to at the same time, and I didn't know it back then, but I was one of those girls. So I still liked him even after I realized that he talked to so many girls, but I couldn't do anything about it because I liked him. But I don't know, I had a big crush. So for the whole year I liked him, and he liked me too, but he never said anything. And then summer came and my crush stopped. Since I stopped talking to him, I stopped seeing him, so I stopped thinking about him. But the first like 3 days of school, like, my crush was totally back, and I was really mad about that. He was still the same. He was still flirty and whatnot. But that Friday, like the first Friday of school, he told me that he kissed a girl or something like that. And I was just thinking in my head, like, the first week of school and you're already making out with someone, like, what are you doing, like, it got me really mad. But I was his friend, so I was like, oh, that's cool, like, go for it, But the next week, I think, he ended up telling me that he didn't like her anymore. And I was just thinking, like, it's been like 3 days, how do you not like her anymore? But yeah, and when he told me that, he leaned into my face like this close, so I knew that he liked me, which made me really happy. But then it made me like really mad, because if he could stop liking a girl in like 3 days, he could do that to me too. But I don't know, I couldn't stop liking him even if I tried really hard. But yeah, so we told each other we liked each other on a Friday, and then he asked me out on the next Sunday that came up, and then we started dating on a Monday, which was September 15, and we're still dating right now, obviously, because I moved in with him. And yeah, so I started feeling sick around February. And I told him, I was like, hey, like, I'm not feeling good. I'm not having a good feeling about this. But he was like, no, come on, stop thinking like that. You're just making things up. It's your head. And I was like, okay. So I waited till the next day, and then I felt worse the next day, which was a Friday. I felt so much worse. So I was like, hey, look, we need to go get a test. And he's like, okay. So Monday morning, like at 6 in the morning, when the sun had just come up, we went to CVS and got 2 tests. I took them. Well, I took one, and it came out positive, and I was in so much shock. Like, so many emotions were going on inside my head that I had this smile, like a huge smile, and I just couldn't take the smile away. And I don't know what he thought, like, why is she happy, like, what is she, like, But the next morning I took the other test, and it said the same thing. So I made an appointment with a free clinic. So I slept over at my aunt's house, my cousin's house, and I asked my aunt if she could take me somewhere in the morning, and she said yeah. And she kept asking me where, and I wouldn't tell her because, I didn't want anyone to know, even though she was about to find out in like a couple hours. But she ended up taking me, and we had picked Joanne on the way. And he was all formed when they did the sonogram. You could see his little legs, his arms. He was moving his arms. You could see his little nose and head and everything. And they told me I was 13 weeks, but I was actually like 15 weeks. And I mean, we didn't know what to do because, you know, I was 15, now I'm 16, and now he's 17. But yeah, we didn't know what to do, and so we ended up going back to my aunt's house. And I don't know if it was my aunt or my uncle, but I think it was my uncle who told my parents, and I wanted to tell my parents like on my own. But my parents ended up coming to my tia's house, and I really did think that my mom was just gonna come in and start slapping me, and my dad was gonna come in and start punching my boyfriend. But they came in all calm, and they were like, let's go in the backyard so we can talk. So me and Joanne went to the backyard, and they were just telling me how hard it was gonna be. And my mom didn't scream, she just raised her voice. And the thing that really got me mad was she's a smoker, and she started smoking right in front of me. Like, it was hitting my face and like hitting his face and my dad's face, and because like it was pretty windy that day. And I'm just thinking like, I'm pregnant, like what are you doing? It got me really mad, but I didn't say anything because I was scared. I was so scared of her. But my dad was more calm since he had a baby when he was 16, just like Joanne, but Joanne's 17 now, so I think my dad was younger than Joanne, I don't know. And my aunt, she was really calm about it too, because she had a baby when she was 17, I think, or 16. So my mom was the only one that was like 21 or something like that. She was older, but she was still young, so she was raising her voice a lot, but she wasn't screaming. And yeah, so my parents found out. We took him home, we took Joanne home. And my parents didn't tell his dad because they wanted to give him time to tell his dad on his own, which I thought was really nice, you know, instead of them barging in and being like, hey, you're like, your son got my daughter pregnant or whatever. And we got home, and I was really scared. Like, the ride home was quiet, which is not like how it is. We're always talking. And my mom started crying and screaming at me, and she's like, I don't want you in the house, I want you to leave, and you need to get out of my house. And my dad was just like, don't listen to her. And my mom was like, get out, you know. She was saying all these things, and she's like, by tonight I want you out. So I started crying and things like that. And of course I didn't leave because I didn't have anywhere to leave, but I thought of going to an abandoned house up my street. So I was thinking of going there if she did like literally get me and throw me out, but she didn't. And then she got over the next maybe 3 weeks, she cooled down, and now she's really supportive. And my dad was supportive. Like, after like the first week, he was already like, you know, happy and touching my belly and smiling and like, oh, like we're gonna call him this and we're gonna buy him all these things. And so my dad was a lot more supportive faster than my mom. But my mom came around, and now she's helping me a lot. She helped me get the apartment. Well, my brother has actually signed the lease because we're too young to get the apartment by ourselves. But my mom like has helped me get like everything that I need, like sofas, a bed, table, like food and things like that, TV. So that she's been really supportive about that. And now I am 7 months and I'm 16. I was 15 when I was 3 months, or I think I was, hang on, I was like 4 months when I turned 16. And then when school ended, I was, hang on, I was 5 months when school ended. And no one even noticed because, I don't know. But anyway, that's my story. And if you have any questions, I'm going to put my Tumblr in the description. So follow me, ask me questions. Or you could just ask me questions in the comments. I'm going to do a questions and answers. I can't even talk. a questions and answers video, which will be uploaded next, but I'm gonna wait like maybe a week or two to have a good amount of questions, because if I get like 3 questions, what kind of video is that, you know? So I'm gonna wait a while to get a good amount of questions, and I'm gonna do a video about that. So please like and subscribe, and yeah, bye. Is this even on? Oh, it is.